Living beyond the frame of fear. Remove what's unnecessary to see clearly. Fear keeps us focused on the past or worried about the future. If we can recognize our fear, we can realize that right now we are okay. And that quote is from Thich Nhat Hanh. The image symbol which came through for this week: cleaning a glass window pane, seeing clearly rather than adjusting your vision to the dirt. 1. The old frame. Fear kept me small for a very long time, although you would never know it looking from the outside in. Growing up, I learned fear from my mother. Others are dangerous. They want what you have. Don't turn your back for a second. The Reagans in the White House only echoed these messages on a larger scale. This way of projecting can be a way individuals with narcissistic personality disorder function. They are the ones who want what others have because they can never have enough. Their deep requirements of loved ones make them untrustworthy partners and caretakers. I learned how to be just bold enough to fit within the frame of how others expected to see me. Over the years, I subconsciously began playing a game with myself. Could I be sneaky and wild on the side, yet return inside the frame? This began with severely limiting my food intake as a preteen, progressed to having secret sex with boys, and finally to my Leviathan, alcohol. Alcohol initially felt bold until the simultaneous demands and monotony of drinking became prison bars rather than a means of slipping outside of my frame. 2. A new window. I am astounded and delighted by the many treasures I discover through connecting with spirit. As I have been pushing my edge, logging more training hours in a rigorous mediumship training method, my dad on the other side comes through other mediums for me at every single training session. Aside from reminding me of his fascination as I learned more complicated biochemistry in college, of the times we would sit in our own bubble at family gatherings talking about what I was learning in class or lab, I am reminded that there is only the present. He wants you to know how proud he is of you. He just loves everything about you, the other mediums relay. Even during an exercise in which we poked around about each other's childhoods, he reported, "It was easy to be her father." Really, Dad? Don't you remember that time I was 15, so drunk at a kegger in West Seattle that one of my friends called you and you came to stuff my drunken ass in the back seat of the caddy at 11 p.m. on a Friday night after working hard all week? Of course he doesn't remember that. Why should he? He sees me as I am. I've broken out of that confining yet familiar frame, and I am doing the psychic weirdo bit. And he is loving the ride just as much as he loved learning about how acetyl CoA and NADH play roles in the Krebs cycle to make energy in our bodies. 3. Clarity. Have you reached the point of breakthrough yet? Do you see beyond the frame that has held you, in theory, has kept you safe all these years? Or do you gaze through a smudgy pane and itch to wipe it clear? This past week, I had the joy of experiencing others in their breakthrough moments. On Tuesday, the owner of West Coast Willow Apothecary, where I do readings on Saturdays, and as of today, occasionally sub in the apothecary, reminded me to join the shop, or invited me to join the shop photo shoot. Nicole, the owner, is doing a reboot of sorts and has assembled a team of magical humans, or are we, together to support the community with herbs, skin treatments, and spiritual readings. I was honored to participate in this breakthrough moment. On Friday, during Mediumship Development Circle, Mike's mom, who passed when he was 20, came through. She acknowledged that after years of drifting, he was finding his calling, using his gifts to connect to the spirit realm and facilitate healing for others. This was paired with an assignment to connect psychically to the partner and one of the siblings, comparing and contrasting the two and feeling into the relationship dynamic. Perhaps unsurprisingly, many of us are estranged from siblings, having left the narratives we may have been upholding before we accepted this path. The unconditional love we find in spirit, contrasted with the conditional love we find here, is part of our breakthrough story. On Saturday, I attended a yoga and sound healing plus philosophy and poetry hosted by my friends Georgie and Susanna on Vashon Island, a few miles across the Puget Sound from where I live. I barely knew these women last year, and this year I can call them sisters. They were inspiring as they led with their hearts, communicating what their souls find meaningful to share with others, using their unique gifts and perspectives. As I did, they each they each left cozy corporate gigs last year to live a different way. I have observed that when we live simply, we can tackle complex problems, continuing to remove what is not necessary, moving towards simple clarity may reveal the breakthrough that is available to us all. The cards for the week ahead. Number 9 from Denise Lynn's Soul Coaching Breakthrough. This card is about having done the work and being ready to take the leap, despite feeling fear. Affirmation from the book. I soar into limitless love, light, and joy. And number 41 from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. White Mantra Mother Protects. The guidebook speaks about feeling threats to your peace and progress and points to trust as a tool over fear. Wishing you clarity this week, Maria Luz. And for those of you on Substack, what frame of expectation or conditioning have you outgrown? And how are you stepping beyond it into authenticity?